Hey, how's it going, and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at the guitar sounds from U2's Achtung Baby using the HX effects. But before we do, I'll ask you to please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at The Guitar Effect. So, I've done 2 videos already on HX effects sounds for different bands. So I've done Pink Floyd and Pearl Jam. And both of those videos have had pretty good reception, and the presets have been downloaded quite extensively actually from 90's website, which is cool. I'm really happy about that. So I decided I'd try and do another one. Somebody had requested, for example, a Queens of the Stone Age set of patches. I'm listening to Queens of the Stone Age. I'm a massive fan, always have been, but it's really specific in terms of its mid-range content, amplifier choice, guitar choice and stuff like that. So I want to kind of put a bit more research into it before I go down that street. So I decided, I've always loved the Edge, and I decided to have a go at some of the Edge's guitar sounds. Now, I did realise that most of the time when people ask, or when you look up, I should say, demos of the Edge's guitar sounds on the internet, it's always Streets of No Name, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, Bad, Pride, are the 4 ones actually that mainly get addressed. Whereas for me, the Edge is far more interesting tonally on Achtung Baby. So I decided to look at the guitar sounds of Achtung Baby specifically in this video. I'll also mention that I've only gone after 3 songs because I want to keep the video somewhat short, and they are One, Until the End of the World, and Even Better Than the Real Thing. If you like these presets and you would like me to have a look at any other songs from Achtung Baby, don't hesitate to ask and I'll just switch them together and put them up on the Line 6 website, which, by the way, all of these presets will be available up there as well. So I'm playing my Les Paul and my Casino Coupe for these songs because there's no Strat to be seen anywhere. And I'm playing them into the HX effects and into the Hotone British Invasion Nano Legacy mini head to mimic the AC30 sound, which I think it's doing a pretty good job of. And you can see a demo of that amp here. And yeah, without further ado, let's start with Until the End of the World. Start with Until the End of the World, and as you go through these presets you realise there's a lot of things that are common to all. I did start with one preset and then copy it out. So the effects that I'm using, right, which is, as you can see here, are, in this case, there's an EQ at the beginning, and it has a little bit of a high boost and a mid cut, and then we have a hair apparent, which is basically like a transparent overdrive. Then there is a kinky boost, which is just kicking the amp a little bit. The boost section is off and the bright section is off. Then for mod, I have a rotary drum and horn. That's for 1, it's not in use in this. Then I have the effects loop of the amp in a loop. I have a Adriatic delay, which is like a modulated delay. I think it's actually based on a Boss Terra Echo. Then I have a simple delay, which is just a digital delay, and then I have a Hall reverb and a Glitz reverb, and the Hall is on in this instance. So what this particular preset is made up of, the EQ is on, both distortions are on, but I'm gonna turn the kinky boost off. The effects loop is on because I'm using the amp with the effects loop to have the delay and reverb after the effects loop. Crucially, I'm only using 1 delay. The Adriatic delay, or the modulated kind of warm sounding atmospheric delay, is off, and the rhythmic style simple delay is on. And then I'm using the Hall reverb because I don't need the kind of atmosphere of the Glitz. So without any of those things on, I'll just show you what the guitar straight into the amp sounds like. So that is just my Les Paul, capoed on the 3rd fret on Until the End of the World, running into the Hotone British Invasion Nano Legacy head, which is my solution to a Vox style sound, which obviously is the Edge's sound. I'm going to turn on the air apparent just to make it a bigger sound. fair bit of gain going on there. Leave the kinky boost off for this, mod off, loop on, Adriatic delay off, and then the simple delay on, and then the Hall reverb on. So here is what that song sounds like, sort of just one or two of the different parts. Crucially, with these delays, the Adriatic atmospheric delay is set for a quarter note and the simple delay is set for dotted eighth. So that's basically, the song goes 1, 2, 3, 4. The dotted eighth delay is 5 repeats in the same measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So by chucking the strings, I can get the tempo off that. So So as you can see, the key to that tone is really just Les Paul, so humbuckers into the Vox amp with a dirt pedal on, and then that digital delay repeat that doesn't have any modulation on it. I think that's kind of pretty close to the sound. And that's until the end of the world. Okay, so you would have heard one's kind of tones in the snippet of the full song that I did at the beginning of the video, and also in last week's just straight up guitar cover of One. I used these presets. It's one of my favourite U2 songs of all time. I particularly love the way the Edge plays it live. I think it's really, really great what he does. So because there's a lot of switching in this song, so you know, there's one sound for the intro, then there's one sound for the rotary thing in the verses, there's one sound for the chorus, and then there's a slightly augmented version of the chorus sound at the end. At least I think there is. I think he goes a little bit extra gainy at the end. So what I've done here, and you'll see here, is I have the Edge one as a preset, and then I have 4 snapshots. I have intro, verse, chorus, and lead. So starting with intro, this is the way he plays it live. So there's no pick, and you use your fingers, and basically all that's on is the EQ is off, the distortion's off, both distortions are off, the mod is off, the effects loop is off, the delays are both off, which is for the Edge, is amazing, and then the Hall reverb is on and the Glitz reverb off. So it's just a reverb and the guitar going straight into the amp. Now it's important that you have enough gain in the amp that when you dig in, there's a little bit of overdrive, because you need a little bit of touch responsiveness to the tone. And then it's just get the idea. Chorus. And that's one. So that's right, that's the intro to one. Then what happens is we go into the verse part, where basically the only thing that changes, you might think a drive pedal comes on, but it doesn't. It's just the rotary comes on, so you get Oh, we'll also mention that temptation here really used to go to, for me anyway, is to go to the back pickup of your humbucker equipped guitar, but that's actually the neck pickup, or for me I'm more comfortable with the neck and middle setting, or the neck and bridge, so the middle setting, so it goes. So the settings, by the way, on the rotary are, it's the rotary drum and horn, which I think is from the Legacy. Yeah, it's from the Legacy rotary setting. And then you have, the depth is up pretty high at 95%. The horn depth is at 63%. The drive is pretty low, but it's adding a little bit. And then the mix is 100% on sense of this. I think the speed, as long as it's fast, is kind of okay to have it roughly in the neighborhood. Okay, so that's the verse sound. So then we come on to the chorus sound, and things change a bit here. So the rotary goes off, the air apparent comes on to give a bit of dirt, and then the simple delay again comes on, but the Adriatic delay is off, and sounds like this. I think it's important to note as well that the delay is in a dotted eighth timing. The feedback is one loud repeat and one or two quieter ones. Mix is at about 38-40%, and the level doesn't change. So the level is the actual level of the guitar as opposed to the mix of delay. It's quite rhythmic in the fact that when you hit this high G or high C, you can really hear that repeat becoming part of the part. And then obviously it goes to the lead part. A real dissonant vibe to it that both the whole reverb and the simple delay really enhance. So that is the chorus part, and then we come to the lead at the end. Now I kind of use this in two ways. I'll start with just the chorus sound for the main chordal part at the end, which is this D-shaped chord, it's a C on the 12th fret. And then we come into the other, when we come into the other lead part, I'll actually switch to the lead preset, which activates the kinky boost, the EQ, and the delay. And it sounds like this. Pretty big sort of sounding delay part, and that's kind of all the sounds of one. Okay, so the third song we're going to look at is Even Better Than the Real Thing. Now, both live and I'm presuming when he recorded it in the studio, the Edge used a Rickenbacker 12 string for this song. So I am replacing that with this Epiphone Casino Coupe because it is hollow body, and I think that the 360, I think it's called, the Rickenbacker 360, the Edge uses is hollow body. So I wanted to have, or at least semi-hollow, I wanted to have something that had a similar sort of timbre to it. Then the effects are, the first thing I have here is this hard gate, right, which will become evident as I go down through. There's a lot of pitch shifting going on, which is a lot of associated noise. Then after the hard gate, the first thing I have is a simple pitch, and all it's doing is adding 1 octave up, and it's mixed in at 36%. And here is the sound without. So if I add that in, it changes it into a faux 12 string. Okay. And there is a 12 string effect on the recent update on the HX effects, but it takes up too much processing power for me to be able to use the other effects I need. Next thing I'm adding is a pitch wham, which is obviously just a pedal pitch or whammy effect, and that sounds like this. I'm using expression pedal to bring the octave up 2 octaves. Okay, and then I'm adding the Dyna drive to give it a bit of drive. And then I'm adding the vintage digital delay with just a 1 repeat. There's a lot going on with this. I'm trying to keep the delay minimum, so you can see the note sync is at a dotted eighth and the feedback is at 6%. And so all together, those sound like this. I left out one thing. I'm also using the hall reverb. Sorry. So I like to play that actually with my fretting it's a D, and I like to play the fret of D on the 5th fret of the A string. I like to add a little bit of vibrato at the end because it gives a bit more movement. That's the intro. So then after the intro he goes into the riff, and I could turn off the whammy at that point, but I don't feel there's a necessity. I just leave it in the heel position. So then I turn on the Elephant Man for the sort of verse picky part. And then I turn that Elephant Man back off when I go back into the chorus part to clean it back up again, because I want that little bit of extra atmosphere and bringing it to that double delay for that picked part to give it a bit more presence, but then I turn it off when I come back into the riff in the chorus. So I do feel in this instance that the single coil pickups on this guitar and the hollow body actually really do add to the character and give the piece a more distinctive sound. I think it sounds a little bit closer than my Les Paul would say, or a Strat, to the Rickenbacker guitar. Then the other thing obviously is there's a solo in this song that he plays with a slide. I haven't learned the solo, but it's roughly, I turn on the other delay, it's in the same sound. It's something of that nature, and the sound works perfectly well for it, I think. So that's even better than the real thing. So there you have it. 3 songs from Achtung Baby. Probably my 3 favourite songs from Achtung Baby too. I hope you enjoyed the video. As mentioned, as always, these presets will be available for download from Line 6's website. You just go into the user-generated tone section for the HX effects. I can't remember exactly what the part of the site is called. Search for U2 and you'll find them there. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, if there's any extra tones you'd like me to do from Achtung Baby, feel free to ask and I'll stick them up on the website too. I won't make a video about that, I think this covers it off. And thank you for watching as always if you've gotten this far. And I will see you soon in another video. All the best. See you later. Bye.